Hi there, beautiful souls. This is Sandra, your host of TLL Talk. And I am so excited about this episode. Now that we've decluttered our mind and our home, now it's time to take those next steps to really kind of build that dream life. So today is really going to be talking about the power of intention, manifestation, and really putting that power forward into building your dreams. And the show is definitely not going to be about just affirmations and vision boards, although those are important too. It's really going to be about giving you a roadmap to taking your dreams from just a concept to reality without fear and with confidence and with clarity. So, join us for today as we take you through the different steps to take those dreams to the next level. Because we're not here to play small. We're here with our one life that we're given to really play big. So let's do this together. So often people say, it's magic and you're just manifesting things. And what does that really mean? And, it doesn't really have anything to do with religion, or is it something like voodoo? Or, people ask different questions about manifestation as if they're, it's something toxic that they shouldn't be talking about. And look, I'm a Christian myself. I love the Lord. And I have been manifesting since I was young. And in the Bible, it literally says, ask and you shall receive. So again, you do not have to do this to any specific God. This is just really bringing in your desires and your dreams and putting an action plan in place. So don't be afraid of the word manifestation, because I feel like people sometimes get spooked out by that word, but there's nothing to be spooked out about. It's really just you putting your thoughts, emotions, actions, and energy out into the world and into the universe so that it can be heard and then it can come back towards you. So that's really important to know. So let's start clearing something up about manifestation. So first off, it's not magic. Manifestation is really something inside of you that you are putting such clarity and confidence into whatever that desire is that you're desiring to do, whether it's a job or a relationship or whether it's, whatever it might be that you're desiring that you feel like needs to come into your life. You're just taking those dreams and you're putting them on paper, and then you're creating an action plan so that those emotions can then bring all of those dreams forward. And if you look even back into the Bible, it says, ask and you shall receive. And people forget about that. It's pretty basic, but you need to ask for what you want. You can't just stand back and say, I really want this, or I wish I had this, or I don't have enough of this, and I don't have enough of that. Like, you're great at saying those things, but sometimes people need to just change their wording and change them to, I do have this, and I will have this, and I'm going to have this, and here's my dream, and here's what my dream life is going to look like. You just have to change the way you talk and the way you think. I can't tell you how many times I hear somebody say something like, oh, I'm going to be single forever, or I'm never going to make enough money. I'm never going to be happy in any job that I get. This must be just be my life. I'm not going to be happy in my relationship ever. I'm just going to stay. Like, you're kind of telling yourself that story. And by telling yourself that story, then the world and the universe is listening and saying, okay, well, then you're just okay with that. That's the story you want. But once you start telling yourself a totally different story of the life you really want, then everything just starts to fall into place and everything just starts to work out the way that you're telling your story. So be careful in choosing the right words when you're speaking to yourself and when you're putting it out into the universe of what your dream life might look like, because dream big. I mean, even the biggest stars have always said, dream big and be careful what you wish for, because those dreams can come true and will come true once you start putting together this plan of action and start speaking the right words to the universe of what your life should look like. So again, manifestation is showing up for yourself. It's just really putting your thoughts, emotions, and energy into actions and into an actionable plan. Once you put those actions into a plan, things just start to happen. I mean, I have to tell you a story this is one of many. I mean, I've been manifesting since I was young, but this is one poignant part of my life, which is obviously the Lifestyle Lab, the retail center showroom. It has design and materials that my daughter and I, Noelle, have started over the years and have built. And funny enough, we were in a very small building in the Central Phoenix area. We started out as a builder design center, very small, 1,300 square feet. We outgrew the space and I knew we needed to go into a bigger space. So I reached out to a couple commercial brokers, let them know kind of what my budget was and let them know what I was looking for. Now, mind you, they didn't know that I manifest, and so I had this amazing building already in my dreams planned out in my head of what the lifestyle lab should look like. So I had this big building with tall windows, floor to ceiling windows and beams. I had it in a great neighborhood, had street frontage, and it was part of a retail center. I had put all of this on paper, and I'd also told these brokers this. And they literally said to me, like, "You can't afford that. It's not gonna happen. Sorry. Like, we're gonna take you where we can show you places that you can afford that are bigger." So they took me to industrial spaces. They took me to, like, the air park areas where, I could have, like, a garage door and, like, a door where people could come in, but they'd never find me unless I gave them a map. So and they're like, "This is your price point." And I'm like, "No, I'm telling you, I have this exact vision of how I see this building looking like. Just find it for me. It's out there." I kid you not. And this is a true story, and this is one of so many different stories that I could tell you, not only about my life, but also about other people's lives that I've seen firsthand. I had a friend who also worked with us as a real estate agent that was a residential but also commercial broker. And he came up to me one day and said, "Sandra, I have this great opportunity in Arcadia, where I had grown up, and literally this gym owner is not renewing their lease. They've left the building for a while. You might wanna come and take a look at it. It used to be a gym." And so, hopped in the car, drove down the street, saw it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is it. This is the place." And I said, "How much? How much do they want?" And he's like, "I don't know. We have to negotiate it. Like, we're gonna have to take a look and see. Like, I don't know." It had needed work. I mean, clearly it was a gym, so it was smelly, it was gross, it was dirty. It just definitely needed work. It was a gym for like 15 years, a very popular gym here in the Phoenix area. So, anyways, he went back to the owner and said, "I have a tenant for you. It's a design center showroom. They cater to contractors and designers and the residential public and commercial public and whatever it might be that needs design and materials or just one or the other." Pitched us, sold us, and the guy started out with a much higher price, and I was like, "Oh god, like, now here we go again, can't do that." And then he came back once he realized, a few months later that he was still not able to rent it out to anyone. We were just getting into, like, the COVID times too, like, COVID was just taking kind of mainstream news at that point, and they negotiated the price for exactly what I wanted, the lease that I wanted, and everything fell into place. And literally, the brokers that were working with me were shaking their heads, and they're just like, "There's no way. There's no way she got that building for that price. There's just no way." And I just said, "Look, guys, I put it on paper. I dreamt about it. I knew what I wanted, and, it came to fruition because I put a plan in place. Like, this is what I wanted, and I wasn't gonna take anything less." So, anyways, that is manifestation. So don't be confused about what manifestation is. That is the true magic of the power of your words, your thinking, your thoughts, and you're putting a plan in place that, if you really want something, then make sure you go get it and you put it on paper and you really think about it because it's gonna happen. So now that we know what manifestation is, I want you to take a second and really kind of pause in your life and in your thought process and think, take a deep breath. Take it in and then let it out, like in through the nose and out through the mouth. Like take some deep breaths, really take some deep breaths and take a minute to just kind of settle down that noise and just settle your body and your soul down and mind. And just ask yourself, like, what do I want? It can be as little as like, I want to travel, to the next state and go visit some friends. Or it could be as big as I have a dream of becoming a world famous actor, whatever it might be. Like, just put it down on paper and don't worry about how you're going to get there. Don't worry about how it's going to fall into place. Once you put it down on paper, like the building that we got, like things just fall into place in the universe the way it's supposed to, at the timing it's supposed to. Remember that timing is important. It's not our timing, it's really the universe's timing. So be patient. Once you put it out there, just be patient and wait, but it'll come. And don't worry how it's going to come. Don't worry how it's going to put itself together so that everything works out. I mean, you can kind of have the most ridiculous dream if you want. Somehow, if you really believe in that dream, it's going to happen. So just let the universe figure it out for you, okay? Don't stress. All right. So what lights you up is the next question. Like ask that. That's important. Like what are you passionate about? What are you feeling like you're missing? If you could just dream up anything that you wanted in your life, just dream it up and put it on paper. Just do that on paper and just kind of sit over it for a minute. Read it a couple times. I mean, read it maybe 3 times. That's always a good thing too. Just that way it kind of resonates inside of you. And try reading it several times a day. So I love the rule of 369. So you start reading 3 times, well, you write it down and read it 3 times in the morning. You can also rewrite it 6 times, maybe midday, or reread it 6 times. And then at night, reread it and write it down for 9 times. And do that for like 7 days. So that way it's really sticking inside of you. You're feeling that passion, you're feeling those thoughts, you're not forgetting about it. You're not just tabling it and saying, "Oh, this is a dream I wrote in a journal and now I'm forgetting about it." You're actually really focused and you're clear about what those dreams are and what those changes are going to be in your life. So remember, that's important. And then what would your dream day look like? Like really walk yourself through those dream days. Like is your dream day going to be people cheering for you in a crowd? Is it going to be that you just opened up a brand new business and people are rushing in through the doors? Is it going to be that you're, helping and serving others, or you're going to be the best basketball player, best golfer? Like imagine that dream day. One of my absolute favorite stories is Jim Carrey. He literally wrote himself a check for, I believe it was $5 million. And he put it in his wallet and he carried it to every audition he went to until he made that $5 million. And then he pulled out his check and was like, "Look, guys," to his friends, like, "I had this check in my wallet all these years, and here I'm finally getting this role." And if you look it up on the web, that you goes in more detail on how he got it. But I just think that that is so incredible. It's so telling to his story of how he achieved his dreams, and he had, written a check to himself, and he said, "This is what I'm gonna make." And same like, Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan, like these sports stars, like they visualized and dreamt about their stardom and the way they were going to hit the ball or the way they were going to make that shot. Like those are just key elements to really, when you're writing down your dream, is visualize yourself in that dream. Visualize what it's going to look like. If you are missing money or lacking money in your life, visualize tons of money all around you. Your bank account and your wallet is full of money. If you're missing love in your life, imagine this most amazing love life happening in your life. Like picture yourself walking next to your soulmate, whatever it might be, just visualize what that dream is that you're looking forward to achieve. And then what feelings does that evoke? It's got to evoke a feeling. Like if you're passionate about something, you've got this gut feeling that you feel. You feel that passion and that energy. And those are all things that drive this visualization and this manifestation experience. So lastly, just remember your vision is sacred. You do not have to share it with everyone. You can share it with just a few people or don't share it at all or just put it in notes. It's sacred to you, but don't shrink it. Make it big. Like, I have some big visions and manifestations for my life coming forward. And I know even in my own personal experience, even though I'm a great manifester and when I do it well, there have been points and times in my life where I have just gotten comfortable and so busy and forget. And then my life just kind of derails and gets off the wheels fall off the bus because I'm not on my plan that I planned and I'm just busy with work and busy with kids and busy with just life that I have to go back, and sometimes the chaos reminds me that, "Oh my gosh, this is not my dream life, like, help me." And I have to go back to being, like, confident in redoing my dream life, and sometimes your dream life changes, what you wanted maybe 10 years ago isn't what you're gonna want in 10 years fast forward. So, just kinda take that time to revisit those dreams and revisit those thoughts of making sure you're staying on track. That's the best advice I can give you guys. So the embodiment shift is so important. So it's every small aligned action is a signal to the universe that you're ready. And the universe is ready to mirror that energy back and give it right back to you. So every little thing, whether your dream house might be in, I don't know, it could be by the beach. You want a beach house and you're looking at beach houses online and you're telling people you're going to buy a beach house. You're visualizing that beach house. Like Then all of a sudden the universe is like, "Oh, okay, she wants beach house. Like maybe we need to figure this out. Let's take a look at this." So like those are the kinds of things. Or and then, put the dream into action. Or you want to be a new business owner. Maybe you want to open up a brand new business. Start looking at location. Start visualizing what that location might look like. Let's say you want to, be an author. Then start looking at like what authors do. Like how can I get a book started? What are some things that I can do today to start writing and start looking at like the publishers out there and who would you get published by if you wanted to publish your first book, or who would you have as a journalist that would, write a story on your first book, whatever. Start those actions. That's the embodiment shift. That means you are now taking those dreams on paper and visualizing them and now putting a plan in action in terms of like really moving that needle. And maybe when you're writing your plan down, maybe say like, "Hey, I'm going to do this for the next 6 months. I'm going to make sure that I'm researching this, or I'm doing this, or I'm learning about that." Or maybe it's going back to school for something that needs to, change your course in your job. Just start those action plans and then actually start researching how you're going to get there. And then put a plan in action of time of like 6 months, 3 months, maybe 1 week. Like, hey, I'm going to work really hard to make some money and I'm going to try to make this much by the next week or quarter or whatever it might be. So this one is really important. And I feel like this is the step that a lot of people miss when they're manifesting, and that's clearing the blockers, clearing all that negative self talk. So once now we've kind of put our action plan together, you need to make sure that once those negative, whatever things that you say to yourself that's self-defeating, like I'm never going to make enough money, or I'm never going to get my dream job, or I'm never going to be able to do that, or I'm never going to get this relationship, or maybe you look at people on Facebook or on social media and you're like, I'm never going to have that life, whatever that might be. You need to stop that in its tracks and come up with something that quiets that noise. So if you're saying to yourself, like, I'm not ready, then just say, I grow as I go, or I'm not worthy of making that much money. Like, no one in my family's made that much money. Then maybe you tell yourself, I'm going to be the change in my family and I'm going to be the legacy in my family. I'm going to do things differently. Like, start creating those positive affirmations that repel any of that negative self-talk that creeps into your mind. They're all gonna creep into your mind. They just do. But at least have some kind of like repellent back so that when it does come in, you're noticing that you're saying those things and then you can immediately kind of squash them so they're not taking over your dream life. Let your self-talk reflect your next level. That is so important. It's just so important to really be talking to yourself the right way. And I have found that, I mean, I hear people every single day that talk, you know, badly about things that I'm just like, "Oh, don't say that." And then I have to explain to them why they shouldn't say that. But it's just natural. Like, I can't tell you how many people just talk negatively about themselves, or, even if it's a sport, like, "Oh, I'm not that great at that," or, "Yeah, I get out there and play, but I'm just okay." Like, don't say those things. Even if you are just okay, like, let's not tell everyone you're just okay. Let's get out there and play. Maybe you're gonna have a great day out there and show everyone up. But just the negative self-talk is so bad, and I feel like we do it so often, and it's bad for our kids. Like, we need to teach our children when they're young too that that negative self-talk is not good for them as well. Like, "Hey, you can do these great things, and don't tell yourself you can't do them." Yes, there's gonna be limitations. Yes, there's gonna be times when, you might fail or you might have setbacks or whatever it might be, but just take those setbacks in stride and get back up and then do better the next time. And keep that positive self talk instead of that constant negative that's pushing you down instead of pulling you up. So that's just an important thought process that I feel like everyone sometimes forgets. So, inspired action and faith, so important. So, manifestation is not just a mindset, it is a movement. So, it's about showing up, it's about applying for the new job, it's about launching the new thing, it's about, meeting that girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, and telling them how you feel. So, just be open to whatever happens. And if that door closes, just know there is a reason why it's closing and you're being led in a certain direction that's now maybe pushing you to do the things that you're dreaming about because you wouldn't have done it if that door didn't close. So always just think that there's a bigger plan always for your life, and don't be just along for the ride. be an active participant in that plan to make that dream life come true. Lastly, daily manifestation rituals are so important for your manifestation journey. So, in that moment when your eyes are still closed, or maybe you woke up and now you're kind of like just stirring in the bed, just kind of close your eyes again before you reach for that phone and get fully up and visualize what your day is going to look like. Like, really think about your day and take that morning to just kind of just digest for a second before you jump out of bed or reach for your phone. All that noise can wait, at least a little something that you're doing towards your dream. And then evening reflection is asking yourself, did today turn out the way I'd planned? Or reflect on the day. If it did, great, be grateful and thankful and blessed for that. If it didn't, then write it down and say, oh, today kind of turned out this way. I wish it would have turned out this way. Or, be grateful for some things that happened in the day. And then you can obviously pause and reflect on the things that didn't happen the way that they should have in the day. I mean, every day is always so different. So again, if you can start your mornings to evening, and during that time, even when you get home at night, just decompress. Like, if you have family or you've been working really hard during the day and you're coming home, before you turn that TV on, before you sit down, look at your phone, just take a minute to just sit and like take some deep breaths and just breathe in that day and just decompress. There is nothing worse than bringing the stress from work home and then feeling that stress. Your family feels that stress, your pets feel that stress. It's just better to just decompress for a minute, even if you have to go into another room to do it, and then, come out and enjoy that time with your family. So these manifestation rituals are really, really great. I love the reset. I have to say that I'm fairly new to resetting myself. It's probably been about a year and a half, but for me, my life with my work and just family life is very, very busy. I have a niece from Switzerland that came to visit us, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh, your day." And I'm like, "Yes, I know." So, it's really, really great for me to be able to have these little daily rituals that I can do for myself that I've really taken a stand on in terms of electronics and just taking that time in the morning and taking it midday and also taking it in the evening to just kind of reset and remind myself what my purpose is and talk about my day in my journal and write everything down, whether it's in a journal or whether it's in my notes, just to have that brain dump of how my day went. And I pause to look at, okay, where am I in my dream life manifestation that I'm doing right now? And I just kind of reflect and I can talk about, being grateful for this, or maybe this I could have done differently, or, maybe this was a stumbling block I might need to overcome. Just those things are important because I feel like we're in such a busy world of things shouting at you constantly. You have to do this, you have to do that. I mean, in this crazy world we're in, we just need to breathe and take a moment to just kind of reset. So if you can do these manifestation rituals, you're going to be so much happier and feeling so much more confident about yourself. So, with that said, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super pumped about this episode. So, I hope that you guys walked away with some really great tools and tips. We're going to have meditation and different ideas on the blog that can help you through this manifestation journey. So, please stay tuned to that. Tune in to TLLtalk.com. It'll lead you to the blog and to the podcast so they can see all the other great episodes that we have. And stay tuned. Oh my gosh, I am literally interviewing Vivian Tang. She is one of the most amazing writers, authors, speakers on wellness retreats. And I took a wellness retreat last year for the first time, and I'm doing it now every single year. They are amazing, like seriously amazing. I never thought I needed a wellness retreat until I took one. It was actually for my daughter's birthday, and she kind of pushed me because she invited everyone in the family to like do this wellness retreat with her, which was really super sweet. So I can't wait for you guys to learn about wellness retreats, why you need them, and why it's important to take that reset, whether it's in town or whether it's out of town, whatever. But anyways, Vivian Tang, I'm going to be interviewing her. So next episode is going to be about that, and can't wait to share it with you. So until next time, guys, see ya.